Yeah, and quite honestly, man, I got to interrupt you on that because you make a really good point. Because if someone is a new or somewhat of a new, in other words, you've just been around a couple of years, you don't have a ton of testimonials and transformation pictures, you're not talked about, you don't have all these reviews on Yelp and Facebook and Google like we do, then you can't offer this type of guarantee that we're about to talk about. But we've been around, Fit Body Bootcamp's been around for 12 years. We have hundreds of locations worldwide. We've delivered hundreds of thousands of transformational results. Like you could see visually that person lost almost a whole person or half a person. And when you have that much reputation built up, you can offer this kind of guarantee that Bryce is about to lay down on you.
Welcome to the Fitness CEO Podcast.
Welcome back, friends, to another amazing episode of the Fitness CEO Podcast. And here in the studio with my man B. Welcome to the show, bud.
Hello, Bryce.
Alrighty, well, we're getting today, the topic of conversation is how to enhance your offer. And ultimately, it really all is a function of supply and demand, right? And there's a handful of ways that you can enhance your offer, which really, from an offer perspective, it's the first entry point when a client is going to do business with you. So your offer has to be on point. It has to be extremely valuable. It has to be so good that the person, the prospect, would feel silly saying no. Yeah. And a few ways to, weapons of influence to enhance those offers. Number one would be scarcity. 2 is urgency. 3 is bonuses. 4 is naming. And then lastly, to provide a guarantee. So that's kind of high level. And we're going to basically dissect the different ways to enhance that offer. So
yeah.
What are your thoughts, bud?
Well, let's take a minute and talk about why you need an enhanced offer in the first place, right? Like if you're a gym owner, you're operating a gym, you're like, look, my offer is weight loss and fitness and better health or building muscle. And aren't those good enough offers? Like, why else? Well, think about it. When the competition around you offers the same stuff, and when on social media and all the websites, all the other gyms are offering fitness and fat loss, weight loss and nutrition coaching, motivation and accountability, soon you become a commodity. And when you're a commodity, you are now judged on price rather than value.
Totally.
But when you can enhance your offer and create what's known as a irresistible offer, something that's like, wow, that is very different than all the other gyms that have offers around here. That offer sounds very irresistible. That makes me want to try it out, even though it costs a little more. Then you have now got the attention of the consumer. And remember, step 1 of building your gym and building any kind of fitness business is to get the attention of the avatar before we can get them as a lead and do a sale, go put them through a sales process, and then win them as a client so we can transform their lives. And so that's how we get attention. So let's dive in.
Let's go. So scarcity. Ultimately, scarcity is a function of volume, right? So there's a few ways you can basically enhance your offer through scarcity, having a limited number of seats. Mm-hmm. If you're going to offer bonuses, which we'll talk about in our another slide deck, which is really a limited number of bonuses, or the offer is a one-time liquidating offer. It never happens again. So from a scarcity perspective, really that's kind of high level, pretty straightforward, but do you have anything to add there?
Yeah, and why do we respond to scarcity? Humans always want what they can't have. And we realize that if I can't have it or there's a limited number of it, immediately the value of something goes up. So as entrepreneurs, it is our job to create scarcity. Now this goes back to the gym owner saying, look, I have a bunch of services available. It doesn't run out. My fat loss services don't run out. I've got coaches coming at the wazoo. I've got enough space to run enough clients, etc. But the truth of the matter is, if you don't have scarcity, people aren't going to be as attracted to it. And so if we know, for example, we know that animals, for the most part, have a predatory response, right? They say if you stand in front of a bear, you want to look as tall as possible, put your hands up, because the hope is that you're going to scare the bear off because you look more intimidating than it.
Yep.
The moment you turn around and run, you trigger its attack response. Same with a cat. You're playing with a little kitty and you're looking at it and it's fine. As soon as you start moving your hands and pull your hand away, it attacks, because it's a mechanism of response. Humans have the scarcity response. When there's something that we want and there's a small quantity of it, or opportunity is going to run out, we want it more. And so it is our job as gym owners, entrepreneurs, to really create that scarcity component.
Totally. The next weapon of influence to enhance your offer really comes down to urgency. And a lot of times urgency and scarcity are viewed as one, and really the key underlying factor is fear, and fear can be a good motivation, and certainly you want to use it ethically and responsibly and make sure that your scarcity and urgency is actually true, because otherwise you can make a short-term sale, but long-term that will actually be detrimental to you. But urgency is different in the sense that urgency is actually a measure of time. So there's a few different types of urgency at play. Number one would be a group hard urgency. The other would be a group rolling urgency. Other ways, seasonal urgency is an example. So I'll kind of unpack those in a second. The group hard urgency for our Ultimate Transformation Program as an example is, we have a specific time frame that we execute the program. So we'll say we're shooting this podcast in the fall, or actually as fall approaches. September 1st is when the program starts. It's a hard urgency, so people need to get off the sidelines, and B, you know this to be true. The vast majority of sales, whenever you run a program with a hard a hard deadline urgency, are going to happen in the last 24 hours of the sale.
The final hours is when the sales roll in.
So that would be an example of a hard urgency point. The other would be a group rolling urgency. So I'll refer to this a few times in this particular podcast, but the Ultimate Transformation Program, or the UTP program that we have, we really open up 5 spots that basically start every single Monday. So when we're talking to a prospect online and it's Wednesday or Thursday of the week prior, it's like, okay, well, hey, as it turns out, we have one more spot left, which is actually a unit of scarcity. And as it turns out, the program starts this coming Monday, so we need to get you in the program, otherwise you're going to miss out. That's an example of a rolling scarcity, urgency, which you can basically roll in every single week. You open up another 5 spots the following Monday. Mm-hmm. Of course, the prospect doesn't need to know that, but that's a great way to basically increase your rolling scarcity. And then urgency. And the last point on that is seasonal urgency. And I'll tee it up for you, being the CEO and founder of Keuilian. Keuilian, our nutrition supplement company, has a lot of seasonal flavors and all that. So I'd imagine at certain times of the year, you basically have certain seasonal offers that come and go, and that would be an example of a seasonal urgency.
Exactly. One of the greatest examples I can tell you is during that fall season, as we get into winter, we've got the pumpkin spice flavored protein powder, right? It is a very limited flavor for a season. Heck, we see Starbucks do this with their pumpkin spice latte, and sales go up. And another way they do that is saying, hey, by the way, in this fall season, we have the pumpkin spice latte, and we have a very special cup for the season, a holiday cup. So anything you can do that is seasonal based will increase the purchase factor. In fact, many years ago, I met a gentleman from Coca-Cola, and he asked me, he said, do you know why we have the fridge pack and the cube and all these different ways of packaging up cans of Coca-Cola? I was like, gosh, I never thought of it, but there's like a 12-pack, a 24-pack, the long fridge pack, the cube, right, and the 6-pack. I said, no, I didn't. He goes, because when we can repackage something and then write new and improved, sales go up by 12 to 20%. And so that is another form of seasonal, right? Like maybe during the sports season, they'll have, for example, an NFL team on it that's endorsed by Coca-Cola or Pepsi or whoever, and all of a sudden sales go up. And so our job is to manufacture different ways of urgency, and seasonal urgency is something that we can do in the fitness industry, because there's get ready for summer, back to school, new year. So we really have a lot of reasons to strike up seasonal urgency.
Totally. So that would be basically a way to enhance your offer. Number 2, shifting gears to the third topic would really be bonuses. Mm-hmm. And man, I was a student of infomercials and late night TV when, all those, late night infomercials would, talk about, okay, this product, and they basically give the demonstration, but what did they do at the end? But wait, there's more. Mm-hmm. And ultimately at that point, you're going to stack in the bonuses. Ultimately, more products, more services. So as an example, the way to get creative, and this is something that we teach our owners at Fit Body Bootcamp, is just really take a second, a 30-minute brainstorm session. What are all the products and services that you had that you can offer? Could you offer a free week on the program, a free coaching call as an example, an extra in-body scan, an extra tub of protein to basically enhance the offer through a bonus? So that's really the high level, aspect of it. And the beautiful thing about the bonus is you can get creative, and there's a lot of services and products that you're already doing in your business that you can add more value. And if you position it that way, you're going to ultimately build that urgency, scarcity in that client's mind to take action now. Otherwise, that bonus will go away.
Right, and that's the piece I'm glad you drove home. The idea of the bonus plays 2 roles. One, you want to have bonuses that increase perceived value. So for example, if the program that you're selling, let's say cost $600 for a 6-week training program. Well, that's great. $600 for 6 weeks of fat loss and fitness training program with nutrition coaching. But let's say it includes, a follow-along workout video that you could do at home to flatten your abs. Let's say it also includes a grocery shopping list on a PDF or an app. Let's say it also includes some kind of a motivational mindset audio program that you could play, right, during those 6 weeks because you took the time to make those, and then it comes with it. And you go, gosh, this thing is worth separately $99, and the audio track separately is worth $129, and the grocery list app is worth $49, and we're including all of that. Well, what we just did is we increased perceived value, and we all know, and you folks should know, that when you increase perceived value, price becomes irrelevant. But when price seems higher than value, that's where you get objections and likely lose a sale. And so a great stack of bonuses is designed to increase perceived value. And number 2, it's there, like you said, for you to take away that after this date, these bonuses go away, which then creates the urgency factor, inspires and motivates people to act now.
All right, so bullet point number 3, enhancement offers check. Next up, look at my notes here, man, and I gotta give a nod to you, B. You taught me this about a handful of years ago in my ear, and I'll never think of marketing the same way. It's like, Bryce, you always have to name every single offer, every single training program to begin with, because it increases the perceived value. It creates a connection point with your audience. So we'll talk about 2 different ways you can create a naming convention to really drive more sales in your program, even if it's the exact same program. So as an example, we just talked about the Ultimate Transformation Program, the UTP program. There's many times throughout the course of the year we'll run it evergreen. Of course, it's always named the Ultimate Transformation Program. But in the fall time, which we're approaching right now in the spirit of this dialogue, we're actually running the UTP program, but we're actually going to name it and package it as something different, the Fall Challenge. So whether it's a fall challenge, whether it's the California Slim Down or the California Cut Down, or the Girls Night Out program, I mean, there's a variety of ways that you can actually reskin a cat. And this is actually even more important in local markets because it really allows you to kind of provide not only a naming convention, but the seasonality for that matter, that really attracts and speaks to that person for the specific time. So a naming convention, it's a must. I'm curious on your take on that.
Yeah, well, I learned very quickly because I would always ask myself whenever I would see a website, way back in the day, I'm talking 10, 11, 12 years ago, direct response websites, and they always named their program, right? It wasn't just like a level 1 or level 2 or 6 weeks of learn how to get fit. And I was like, there's got to be a reason why there's a name. Well, 1, it differentiates, because if we have the 12-week Ultimate Transformation Program, no one else can. We have the Ultimate Transformation Program. No one else can have that, right? And so our job at Fit Body Bootcamp headquarters is to make sure that our franchise locations are constantly getting floods of new leads that convert into paying clients. That means we can take that 12-week Ultimate Transformation Program, and like you said, we can skin it down to a 6-week Girls Night Out program by just cutting it in half. Same program, renaming it, cutting it in half. Now it's a 6-week Girls Night Out program. We can make it a 4-week Summer Slim Down Challenge, right? And so when you think about it, all you have to do is make a program once, and then you can chop down the duration and then rename it, because some people might say, hey, I'm not looking for the Ultimate Transformation Program, but you know what? I like the Girls Night Out thing. I like the fact that I can train for 6 weeks with a group of girls, and then we're all gonna get a little black dress and go out to a cocktail party. Like, what a great thing to look forward to. So for lack of a better term, it's kind of like fishing. If I've got a pond and I've got many different types of fish in it, I can't just use one lure. I have to use different lures. And so someone might say, you know what? I'm waiting for the new year to come. So we'll take our 12-week Ultimate Transformation Program and remarket it, repackage it as a New Year, New You challenge. That person who was waiting for the new year to come may have seen the Ultimate Transformation Program, may have seen the Back to School program, they may have seen the Girls Night Out challenge, but the thing that got them was, it's a new year, it's gonna be a new me, by golly, I'm doing it. And if you don't repackage it, rename it, reskin it, you lose out on all those clients.
Dude, totally amen. And I want to give you another nod because you taught me that years ago, and it is so true. The last point of value actually in that, and you mentioned this as well, but operationally, because we've just been talking about the value from a marketing perspective, but operationally, it makes your job to delivering your service way easier for your team. Because think about having to retrain your team on new operational programs, or you can just basically have the same operational program in the back end. They can execute that, which will actually increase your conversion, all while creating that naming convention.
Bingo.
So
Hey there, my name is Bryce Henson, CEO of Fit Body Bootcamp, and you might know me as the host of this podcast, but what you might not know is that I started my fitness business journey as a Fit Body location owner. And since 2012, I've been able to impact my community while creating financial freedom, both for myself and my family too. You see, by using Fit Body's proven business model, we give you all the support and guidance you need to be your own boss and build a business that aligns with your passion for fitness. And being we are the absolute best at launching and scaling our franchise partners gyms, we are now excited to announce our 100 member guarantee. Now you might be thinking, Bryce, what is that? Well, we are so confident that we'll launch your Fit Body Bootcamp location with well over 100 paying members from day one on your grand opening that if we don't, we'll run your marketing till we do. That's how confident we are in our ability to support you and guide you through this process. So if you're interested in creating more income through impact, click the link somewhere around this video to apply.
All right, well, last but certainly not least, which is my favorite here, and really at the end of the day, what this does is reverses the risk, because let's face it, human nature, we're skeptical. You're skeptical, I'm skeptical, you're skeptical. That's just the way we're wired from an evolutionary perspective. So in order to overcome that skepticism, by providing a guarantee is the best way to do that, by reversing the risk. So there's three major types of guarantees that I want to talk about, and then we'll kind of elaborate and give you some examples of what we do here at Fit Body Bootcamp. But the first is an unconditional guarantee. The second is a conditional guarantee. And the third is an anti-guarantee. So if we're going to break that down, a unconditional guarantee is literally for whatever reason, under any circumstance, your client can actually ask for a refund if the program doesn't work. Now, typically you put a timeline on that, whether 30 or 60 days, but I'll give you an example of the 28-day Jumpstart program we have at Fit Body Bootcamp. We have, and going back to the naming convention, this all comes together, we have the love it or leave it guarantee on that 28-day jumpstart. And really what that does is it reverses the risk. If someone who's interested, they want to take that next step for whatever reason, there's some hesitancy there, by providing that love it, leave it guarantee, they know that any time within that 28-day period of the program, they can basically ask for a refund, get their money refunded, no questions asked.
Bingo. That piece right there, I just want to reiterate, because in case the audience missed this, we don't just go naming our programs. We named our guarantee, right? The risk reversal component we named. We didn't just say, oh, by the way, it's an unconditional money back guarantee. We say, look, we've got this unconditional money back guarantee. It's called the love it or leave it program. And believe it or not, it's another way of differentiating, because if everyone else starts offering a money back guarantee, well, we've got the love it or leave it program, meaning not like it, not tolerate it, love it or leave it program. And that is a very different perspective to look through. Yeah.
I love that. Play on words, man. We're just enhancing the offer within the offers, if you will. So that is the unconditional guarantee for whatever reason. The second aspect, the type that I just referred to, is the conditional guarantee. And for me, this is one of my favorite types of guarantees, because you can make big, bold promises with the condition that needs to be reasonable for your client, but as long as they follow the program and they hit those conditions, then they can get their money back. But for whatever reason, if they don't hit the conditions of the guarantee, then they don't. So I'll give you two examples that we do at Fit Body Bootcamp. Going back to the Ultimate Transformation Program, that basically guarantee is that our clients will lose 15 pounds within 12 weeks, or they'll train for free until they do. Now you might be asking yourself, like, well, goodness gracious, I run an awesome program, but how can you actually guarantee that? Well, there's a few conditions at play. Number one, they have to work out 3 times a week. If I could do that right, 3 times a week, in order to basically fit for that condition. Because if they only show up one time, well, of course, our program's not magic. You're not going to be able to deliver the result. So that's one condition. The second condition on that 12-week program, we have a welcome guide, a packet. It's very well performed and executed, but the client has to complete their weekly missions. So on a weekly basis, they have to connect with their coach and then connect with the complete the weekly missions, and that would be the second aspect of the guarantee. And the third part of the guarantee is they have 4 structured meetings where we get them on the in-body scan, and they have to be at all those 4 meetings. So in order to basically tap into that train for free aspect of the guarantee, they have to hit those 3 conditions. The second type of offer that we have that has a conditional guarantee, which from a franchise perspective is just a huge differentiator, and also actually taking a step back, it shows the confidence that we have in the program. So really, I want want to be cautious here. If you're a gym owner or want to be a gym owner, you can't just whip up guarantees without actually reverse engineering the operational process to make sure that you actually can deliver on what you say you can deliver. And that's the value of Fit Body Bootcamp. We've done all the R&D, the research, and the programs that we push out. Yeah, we can create awesome guarantees, but we actually have the execution to back that up.
Yeah,
So,
and quite honestly, man, I got to interrupt you on that because you make a really good point. Because if someone is a new or somewhat of a new, in other words, you've just been around a couple years, you don't have a ton of testimonials and transformation pictures, you're not talked about, you don't have all these reviews on Yelp and Facebook and Google like we do, then you can't offer this type of guarantee that we're about to talk about. But we've been around, Fit Body Bootcamp's been around for 12 years. We have hundreds of locations worldwide. We've delivered hundreds of thousands of transformational results. Like you could see visually, like that person lost almost a whole person or half a person. And when you have that much reputation built up, you can offer this kind of guarantee that Bryce is about to lay down on you.
love it, which is the 100 Lives Change Guarantee. And really what that means is for our new franchise partners coming to the system, we will guarantee that at their grand opening, they will have 100 full-time paying members, not clients, or excuse me, not trials, not opt-ins. We're talking about 100 paid clients by the time they start their grand opening. Otherwise, if they don't, we'll run their marketing until they do.
Yeah.
And ultimately, that guarantee is so rock solid. And of course, from an operational perspective, we're opening gyms with 150 members from the very beginning. So operationally, we're super sound. That's obviously an incredible offer for our new franchisees coming to the system. That gives them incredible confidence. And of course, we have that guarantee to back that up.
Yeah, because I mean, think about this. What is any person that's about to open up a business looking for? Like, how quickly can I break even? And the next question after that is, how quickly can I start profiting, right? And so I don't know of any other franchise out there, like never mind in the fitness space, I'm talking about like in the food space and the automotive, like Jiffy Lube space. There's no other franchise out there. Like 7-Eleven, which is a franchise, does not say, we will get you or guarantee you this many clients or keep marketing for you until you get this many customers.
No way.
And so the reason we have that 100 client guarantee is because we've done the math and it approximately breaks you even. So imagine your Fit Body Bootcamp doors opening, and truth be told, and this is not, we're not making this promise to you, but the truth of the matter is we open up doors every week where locations have 133 new clients, 200 new clients. And the reason that happens is because we have created a process, and the process creates a outcome. And so we know that we can say, you'll open your doors with 100 paying clients, or we'll keep marketing until you have those clients. And that gives a new franchise owner of Fit Body Bootcamp peace of mind that, gosh, I'm likely to start breaking even as the doors open and then start profiting above and beyond that. And that is a really cool thing, because at the end of the day, we're all in business to, one, impact lives and help people, and two, to make money and create financial freedom for ourselves. And so if you're impacting lives and helping people, but you're not making money, soon you begin to resent your business, and that's not what you're in business for.
Totally. And the one thing to add to kind of close the loop in terms of the condition, just giving you full visibility. So we have a specific ad spend per day, which is worked into the investment of the program, which is $100 per day. So any new owner coming through, in order to take advantage of the 100 Lives Change Guarantee, has to run $100 a day during the length of the grand opening marketing campaign. They have to meet with their onboarding coach on a weekly basis and review the sales call. And then our coach gives them feedback, because that's another way we can leverage ourselves from our expertise to the franchise system, give that new owner some feedback. Hey, you did this well in this call, but you need to make this adjustment. Mm-hmm. Of course, that dramatically increases the results. And the last, they have to submit their weekly scorecard, just from an accountability perspective. So those are the three conditions that we have. They're very reasonable. And of course, when owners do, we don't have to actually execute the guarantee, because it actually works extremely well.
It keeps producing results.
Love it. And the last, I guess, type of guarantee is really what's known as the anti-guarantee. And it's actually a little bit of a caveat there, in the sense that it's actually an all sales are final. So in this type of program, and there's a few programs, B, I want your insight on, in Fit Body Bootcamp in a franchising world is not necessarily a good fit for this particular type of guarantee, but it's a guarantee that you come with full confidence to say, hey, all sales are final, this is that. The positioning is very, very different than what we have at Fit Body Bootcamp. But can you shed some light from your experience?
Yeah, so that guarantee there, where you're talking about, the anti-guarantee is, the best example I can give is, when you have built such a reputation for yourself and you've got such a track record that you could simply say, look, all sales are final. And For example, I offer business coaching, right? Like I've created enough businesses with Fit Body Bootcamp and TrueLean and my coaching business and all the different businesses that I've got equity in that we've scaled quickly. And so now I offer business coaching for entrepreneurs across many different industries. And it's not cheap, it's $100,000 to work with me. And they'll say, well, is there a guarantee? No, zero guarantee, because I know that the process I'm going to give you will produce an outcome. But I don't know your work ethic because we just met. But if you look on my website, all of the different entrepreneurs from different industries, and we're talking about like from medical industry to sports professionals who turned into entrepreneurs and world-class warriors from special operations community that turned into entrepreneurs, all of them got the result because they did the work. And so there is no guarantee for this, and simple as that. And I have yet to have anyone say, well, then I'm not signing up, because I've built a track record. Now, in the past, that same program that wasn't $100,000, it was $25,000 when I started doing this coaching program some 8 years ago. I actually guaranteed it that, hey, in the first 90 days, if you decide it's not right for you and you've been doing the work, so conditional guarantee like we talked about, if you try it for 90 days, show me that you did the work and it's not producing the results, take your $25,000 back. But as I built a track record and a reputation, I was able to start using the anti-guarantee as a sales tool. And people know that. Like, wow, he's so good, he doesn't even guarantee results. And oh, by the way, he wants the money paid in full. There's a waiting list now for those clients. And so that's what's neat about going into business, is if you do your job right, you can build a reputation and a brand around who you are and what you do, where people are willing to give you money and they're actually impressed with the fact that you don't offer a guarantee, because that's just how you roll.
Great example for that. And man, so on that note, just to recap, your offer is everything. That's how you're acquiring clients in your business. Please, please take this episode to heart. And again, the 5 key ways you can do this is through urgency, through scarcity, through bonuses, through naming, and our favorite, through guarantees. And if you follow that formula, you're gonna blow up your funnel, produce more income and more impact.
Bingo.
All right, friends. Well, I know you got a ton of value. Assuming you did, give us a like and subscribe and drop your biggest takeaway in the comments. And we'll see you in the next episode.